All right, back again with another collection update, another big one. Not that many video games this time, but a lot of Blu-ray as usual. As you probably have seen, I buy a lot of Blu-ray, like a lot more Blu-ray than I do video games. There are many reasons for that. It's mainly just because I've been collecting video games for like over 20 years, like much longer than that even. And I've only been buying Blu-ray for the last 5 or so years, so it's kind of more interesting for me personally to get the Blu-ray stuff because there's so much that I'm missing from the collection, and also it's to be honest, it's a lot cheaper as well to buy Blu-ray as opposed to buying video games. But again, I do have here some good video game pickups as well. Some flea market games that are very really cheap, and then something a bit more expensive. So, yeah, let's get into it. I'll start with the PS5 as usual, and stop rambling. Right. So I got a copy of Ready or Not. This is the day one edition. So I went out and I bought a brand new video game. Well, at this point now, when the video comes out, it's not brand new anymore, but it was when I bought it. So this is by Void Interactive. It's a tactical shooter. Reminds me a lot of SWAT, especially SWAT 3 and the early Rainbow Six games. It's really good. Now, a lot of people have a problem with this console release because the developers, Void Interactive, were forced to censor the game a little bit. The people at Peggy and these other like censorship companies that come up with these age ratings for the games, they forced the developer to clean it up a little bit. So this is a really dark game, has a lot of content in it that is quite shocking, like mass shootings. You are going in as a SWAT officer with your team into like mass shootings, school shootings, club shootings. You go into human trafficking. There's a storyline involving human trafficking. There's a illegal porn ring that you have to work against. It gets really dark, so they did have to clean up some of the content. But to be honest, it's not really that big of a deal for me. Do I care that some like victims of human trafficking in the original version of the game were naked when you found them, and in this version they have underwear on? A little bit. It does water it down a little bit, but it's not really that big of a deal. Like, they didn't really remove anything of substance, of something that's really important to the story or the atmosphere of the game. Just, small changes here and there. But yeah, some people don't like those changes, but yeah, it's a really good game. I've played for like 7 or 8 hours at this point, and I've enjoyed everything. Every second of it, except for Greased Palms. That mission is awful. Like the post office / like mail warehouse mission. That mission is awful. But everything else, great stuff. I also got a cheap copy of, during a sale, of Layers of Fear. This is the kind of a remake, I guess. So it comes with both of the games, Layers of Fear 1 and 2, and the DLCs. And they are kind of remastered, remade, reimagined. They changed some content. And there's also some new content as well. I never played the second game, so I'll be going into that completely blind. I'll replay the first game when I feel like it. But yeah, decided to get this one, since it had a retail release here in the PAL region at least, so wanted to get a copy of it before it goes out of print, as these horror games often have a tendency of going. Right. Also, during a sale, I bought, finally, the original Judgment. I've had the sequel waiting for me to get this one first for probably a couple of years at this point. So yeah, this is by the Yakuza developers. what is their name? Like Rio Katoku something. Doesn't have it does have the logo here. Ryuga Gotoku Studios. Right, so this is the kind of a spin-off game to the Yakuza series. I don't know if it's actually properly a spin-off of the series, but it's kind of a Yakuza game, but with more grounded in reality, less silliness, sort of a police detective story. So I'll get to it when I get to it. It will probably take multiple years before I do, but now I at least have it waiting for me. Right. Then some flea market pickups. PS3 games for here. So yeah, I don't have any PS4 games in this video, but yeah, PS3, I bought a copy of Genji, Days of the Blade, complete in box. It's one of the launch titles of the PS3, probably most notorious for having the giant enemy crab presentation at E3 way back in the day. So yeah, never had a copy of this. The PS2 game Genji is really good, so I don't think this is probably as good as that, because the series is kind of dead now, but I'll look into it at some point. I also, for the sake of nostalgia, I got this. This was really cheap. I got a copy of Guitar Hero Greatest Hits for the PS3. I actually do have the PS3 guitar controller and the drum set still. They are like, I have a guitar here at my apartment, and then the drums and another guitar probably at my parents' place somewhere. So I could play this game on drums and whatever if I wanted to. But yeah, this has a collection of songs from the first couple of games. So you've got here like from Guitar Hero 1 and 2, you have Helmet and Incubus. What else? Blue Oyster Cult. You've got Slayer's Raining Blood. I think that's from Guitar Hero Metallica, if I'm not mistaken. Then you've got The Sword Freya. That's a classic Guitar Hero track. And Laid to Rest by Lamb of God. Just a bunch of good stuff here. Bark at the Moon, Ozzy Osbourne. That's from the first game, I think. So yeah. I like Guitar Hero quite a lot, so I just grabbed this. I've never had this Greatest Hits collection, so yeah, I'll probably dig into that one night and try to see if my fingers still work. The last time I picked up, I think maybe last year, I just randomly got the feeling that I wanted to play Guitar Hero World Tour, and I picked it up from my shelf. It's the PS3 version. And I played like Tool songs on hard mode, which I usually play either on hard or expert. I played on hard mode some of the Tool songs, and I just completely sucked at it. My fingers just wouldn't go to where I wanted them to go. So yeah, I guess I'm getting old. Right. Another flea market pickup. This is Ruse. I don't actually know much about this game, but it's a tactics game. One of those PS3 tactics games. There were some on the system, like Tom Clancy's End War and stuff like that. So, interesting stuff. Also really cheap, complete in box. And then lastly, I bought a copy of Planet 51, which is the movie tie-in of this series. Never seen the movie. Don't know anything about it. The only thing I know about this game is that it's a GTA clone, so it's kind of an open world, like exploration action game. Lots of driving, so like a kid's version of GTA. Sounds awful, but I don't know. Maybe it's good. And also at the flea market, I picked up a copy of Jackass the video game for the PS2. Now this is probably awful. I wouldn't expect this to be any good. Also has a bit of damage on the spine, as you can see there. But it's a Jackass game, who cares? The manual looks like it's damaged, but it's not. It's supposed to look like this. So yeah. Not a huge fan of Jackass, to be honest, but it is kind of a legendary thing. Does have a nice looking manual. What was that? There's a lot of text here. Oh, it's credits. The game's credits in the manual. That's interesting. You sometimes see that, but not that often, really. So yeah, this is a Nordic copy. There is also this pamphlet. Now this is a throwback. This is an MTV ad. So you have DVDs of Jackass, Viva La Bam. I don't know what Laguna Beach is. Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica. What is this? Oh, it's Jessica Simpson. Oh my god. You got Beavis and Butthead here. And then we've got the legend Pimp My Ride with Exhibit. So this is a throwback. MTV, like this early 2000s MTV doesn't exist anymore. The whole culture doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, that's that. Jackass. And then I got one PS2 game that was a bit more expensive. I got the second game in the Dot Hack series, Dot Hack Mutation. So this is part 2 of the 4-part Dot Hack game for the PS2, or the Dot Hack series, the second game in the series. It's a 4-parter, has multiple discs, manual. There is unfortunately a sticker on the manual here that I cannot remove because it rips off part of the paper from the cover of the manual, so I don't want to get rid of that. It doesn't look as bad to have this sticker on it as opposed to having it ripped. So yeah, never played the Dot Hack game. I do have the first one. This is one of the series that I've been traumatized by because I had a chance of buying the whole set of the 4 games for really cheap years and years and years ago, but I skipped it because I bought something else. And now, like every single game in a series, each individual game goes for more than what I would have paid for the whole set back then. So I've been kind of traumatized by the series, trying to buy it at least. So I'm just happy to have the second game. I'll try to get the other ones as well, so I don't have to worry about never having them in the collection. Right. So that's it for the video games, and then I'll do the Blu-rays next. Here, a huge stack of 88 films. I've got all the recent Hong Kong stuff, or the main stuff that interests me, and then a bunch of the slashers. They had a sale some while ago. I got some slasher movies from that sale, and a bunch of the new stuff. I like supporting 88 films. They do good work. So I got the limited edition of The Cat, which is a Hong Kong horror movie featuring, surprise, surprise, a cat. Never watched it. I'll get to it when I get to it. I also got the other horror Hong Kong movie that they released called Devil Fetus. Now that's a great name and a great cover art. That's pretty gross. So yeah, a category 3 release as well. So you know that it's going to be gory and awful, but in the best possible way. So there you go, Devil Fetus. These are still sealed. I'm not going to open them here. When I watch them, I'll include them in a movies I've watched episode, and I'll show the box then. So that's probably the next movies I watched that I'll record. I'll have probably not both of those, but at least Devil Fetus will be there because I'll watch it quite soon. I also got the movie Witch from Nepal, featuring Chow Yun-fat, another Hong Kong movie. Now this is exactly the type of stuff that I want to see from 88 films. This also got a release in North America by Vinegar Syndrome, I think. And then I got Her Vengeance, which is the 4th of these sort of larger limited edition Hong Kong movies that they released. And surprise, surprise, it's a vengeance movie. There's a woman and she wants to have her vengeance. So yeah, 4 Hong Kong movies. One thing that I don't like about these releases is that now that, I don't know if people are copying Arrow or if they, like for some other reason, started doing this, but many companies are now using these sort of cardboard slip covers on these larger, like limited editions, not just basic Blu-ray cases. Arrow has been doing this for a while, and I don't really like it. I would much rather have just a case without this freaking cardboard thing. It's just one more flimsy cardboard item to get damaged when you move houses or when you do whatever, but put this on a shelf when they are mailed to you. Just one more thing to worry about. Not a huge fan of that, but yeah, it is what it is. Right. I also got a copy of Seed People. Now, when I bought this, I didn't realize that it was going to be this hardcover slipcase thing. So this was just like £15 at launch. Like really high quality stuff for a cheap price. Yeah, I mean, it's an 80s horror movie. It's actually early 90s. It looks like an 80s horror movie. Early 90s. Definitely something I'll be watching during October. Then I got a bunch of these, like I said already, Slasher Classics collection movies. These are some of the latest ones that were up for sale, so got them for a little bit of a reduced price. Grabbed a copy of Incubus. Probably best known for having the director John Cassavetes as an actor in it, which is an interesting little factoid. Yeah, there's boobs. Not keeping that on screen for longer. Then we've got Skinned Alive. I think this is the redneck slasher. Probably awful, but I'll watch it anyway. Then we've got Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. This one I've heard good things about, so I'll definitely look forward to watching this. Also got a copy of Mortuary. Again, one more Slasher Classics collection movie. Don't know much about this one. So yeah, got 4 of those. And then I got, lastly, from 88 Films, to not just make this an 88 Films video, I got Detonation Violent Riders, which is once again a Teruo Ishii movie. Limited to 4,000. I've got number 1,354. So this is a Teruo Ishii kind of a biker gang action movie. Sounds cool. It's probably all right. Yeah, and then I bought, what should I go for next? I'll go for the Indicator. I bought a bunch of Indicator movies, like these old ones. 3 used and 2 from a out-of-print returns sale. So I bought a used copy of The Legacy with Sam Elliott in it. Great actor. So this is one of the horror movies that they've released from the 70s. Now the back cover, one thing that I don't really enjoy about the Indicator releases is that the back cover doesn't have any kind of a blurb or anything. It just has a tagline from the movie. So you are kind of going in blind unless you know what what you bought, right? You have to do a lot of like fact finding, whatever. I lost the word in my mind, whatever, to figure out what the movies even are, right? I also got the Valachi Papers, directed by Terrence Young, one of the Hammer horror directors, featuring Charles Bronson. So that's a pretty good combination. It's a gangster movie. Oh yeah, these also had the booklets. I should probably flip through the booklets a little bit. Some imagery from the movie. Terrence Young is not always a great director, but he does some interesting work. And this is the booklet for The Legacy. Some imagery there. And again, like always, I don't flip through the whole booklet. I'll just, do some imagery and one page here and there. No point in spending 50 minutes going through a booklet. And I was really happy to find a used copy of this. This is one of the early ones, I think. Oh, it's 188, so that's much later than I realized. Oh yeah, it's Hardcore by the same director. So this is Light Sleeper by Paul Schrader. It's Hardcore by Paul Schrader. That's really early. I'm still missing that one. So yeah, Willem Dafoe, Light Sleeper. If I remember correctly, it's a neo-noir from the early 90s. Well, at least it's from the early 90s. I think it's a neo-noir. Yeah, it has Willem Dafoe in it. It's Paul Schrader. Sounds good. This is supposedly one of the good ones that he did later in his career. Probably best known as the writer of Taxi Driver and the director of Mishima, Life in 4 Chapters. But yeah, he has done a lot of quite bad movies in the especially in the 2000s. And then I bought directly from Indicator. They sometimes have these announcements that they've put some out of print titles back into sale because they had more, found copies of them or whatever, or like limited quantities. So I bought a bunch of these, or 2 of these Mexican horror movies. So I got the Phantom Monastery by Fernando de Fuentes from 1934, a 1930s Mexican horror movie. Is the year really accurate? Is it really 1934? That sounds a bit early, but I guess it is accurate. And then La Llorona. Oh yeah, this is also from the 30s, so these are probably accurate. So La Llorona by Ramon Pion. 1930s Mexican horror movies. Sounds interesting. I haven't seen any of these, so yeah. 5 more added to the Indicator collection. Right, then I guess I'll do this one because it's just a one-off. I bought a used copy of Tarantula, released by 101 Films. It does have a poster. It's just the same. It's one-sided, and it's the same image as on the cover. So no point in showing it. It does have a Blu-ray and a DVD. And I already watched this movie. It's fun. I'll talk more about it in some other video, but it's a fun movie. The release isn't the greatest. It doesn't have any subtitles, not even a hard of hearing subtitle for English language. No subtitles, no special features or anything like that. It's just a movie. So a bare bones release, but I mean it's a really entertaining movie. It's one of those 1950s creature features. And really well done special effects, as you can see there. There's the tarantula attacking. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, I was extremely happy to go to it's not a used bookstore. It's just a used movie store. It's like a brick and mortar, what would I even call them in English? I don't know. Like people who sell physical media, whatever. Who cares? And they had a copy of this box set on their shelf. It has been sold out of print for like 6 years at this point, at least. I guess this came out in 2019. Yeah. Yes. So this is the Fuller at Fox box set by Eureka Entertainment. The plastic is ripped, but that's fine. I'm going to open it anyway. So this has been out of print for a long time, and I found a copy of this sealed. I just randomly came across it. That's quite a find. So yeah, Samuel Fuller, great director. I've only seen one of these movies. So you've got 40 Guns. That's what I've seen. So it's a good Western. You got House of Bamboo, Hell and High Water. I think Hell and High Water is like a submarine movie. You got Pick Up on South Street, Fixed Bayonets. Fixed Bayonets is the Korean War movie, I think. So yeah, 5 movies by Samuel Fuller. Always a good time watching his movies. And really happy to get this box set. It's pretty rare to see this just in the wild anymore, because it has been out of print for such a long time. The owner of the stores told me that they had found this copy just, at the back of their warehouse, just sitting there, has been there for years, and they were kind of surprised to find it. But I'm glad that they did, because I bought it immediately. I also, from Eureka, I bought from a friend of mine who was selling off some of his collection. I bought a copy of Wake in Fright, which is a movie that we actually watched together years ago. It's an Australian. Is it a horror movie? It's definitely a nightmare. It's a nightmarish movie about this guy who is drunk as hell, and he wakes up in this Australian landscape. He's like an American in Australia, and he's just drunk and stumbling around, has no idea what's going on. It is a bizarre movie. It is a one-of-a-kind experience, to say the least. It's interesting. So I bought a copy of this. This also I think it got a 4K release this year. So that's one reason why this is actually pretty cheap now to get. So yeah, Wake in Fright. It's a good one. Interesting Australian movie. It does have some really horrifying animal cruelty in it. So if you're not, if you're easily shocked by that sort of stuff, probably not a good idea to watch it, but yeah. I also bought a bunch of Criterion Blu-ray. I haven't bought Criterion in quite a while, but now I did. So from the same place where I bought this Fuller box set from, I bought this. I think this is also out of print, or at least going out of print. This is the Infernal Affairs trilogy. Now, when I talk about stuff going out of print, I mean the UK B region. I don't know about North America at all. But yeah, in the UK, Infernal Affairs, you don't really see this anymore anywhere for sale. So classic Hong Kong movies, haven't actually seen any of them. So I'll dig into this when I get the chance. I also bought a copy of Night of the Hunter, which I did also watch quite recently for the first time, and it immediately jumps into my all-time favorite movies category. Just incredible stuff, like shockingly good. Like it's from 1955, and it's probably the best lit movie I've ever seen. Has some of the most striking imagery I've ever seen in a film. But yeah, more about this in the movies I watched recently. Coming soon. Just a fantastic movie. Also a really tragic movie because Charles Laughton, the guy who directed this, didn't direct another movie. I don't think he directed anything else after this. So it's kind of a sad affair as well, because he is incredibly talented. I also bought a used copy of To Sleep with Anger, which is a African-American film. Never seen it. This is by the director who did, what he did do? He did like the Sheep movie. What is it called? Does it say it here? He's best known for the Sheep movie. I can't remember its name. That's unfortunate, but it's Charles Burnett. So it's the movie with sheep in the name that he's really famous for. So this is one of his other ones. Never seen it before. Yeah, so that's it for Criterion. And then just a one-off from BFI, I bought the Stray Dog limited Blu-rays. Does have the booklet. You can see it. It's in there. So I skipped Ikiru, this, and High and Low, the Akira Kurosawa Blu-rays, because I was just trying to save money. And now they came out with the cheaper editions without the booklets, and it's really annoying because now I have to peek through the top of every time I try to buy High and Low or Ikiru, I have to peek through the top to see if there's the booklet inside. Really annoying, but yeah, I found a copy of Stray Dog for a good price. Decided to grab it. Haven't actually seen it. I'll have to watch it at some point. Right, and then I have a couple more here. I guess I'll do the Arrow ones. Arrow ones first, yeah. So I bought 5 used Arrow video releases. These are movies that I've skipped originally and now found used copies of. Really happy to get a copy of Raising Cain. This is the slipcover edition of that movie. It's a Brian De Palma film. with John Lithgow in it, great actor. And this limited edition goes for actually quite a lot of money, but I was lucky to get a pretty good deal on it. Yeah, it does have 3 discs and a booklet in addition to the slipcover. This is actually, every time this goes on sale, at least where I live in Europe, people are swarming it. Oh my god, I can't get the booklet out. There you go. People are swarming it. Like, people really want this release, but yeah, it's not the cheapest, not the most common one to find. I haven't seen the movie, but I will look into it. It's a Brian De Palma movie, so it's probably not awful. It's probably worth watching. Yeah, there we go. Raising Cain. So I'll put these here. Slide these over a little bit. Make more room. There we go. I also bought a copy of Hagazusa. Again, limited edition by Lukas Feigelfeld. This is a German folk horror movie. A friend of mine watched this when we were in... When did it come out? Like 2009, maybe? Or is it really 2017? Can it be that new? I remember a friend of mine, maybe it is 2017. I don't trust that year, but whatever. A friend of mine watched this a long time ago and said that it's really good and highly recommended it to me. But I never ended up watching it. But now I got a physical copy of it, so I'll watch it. Also has a soundtrack CD, that's nice. And then a booklet and a poster. Is it two-sided? Probably not. Oh, it is. What is there on the other side? Oh, this is a little bit different, the art here. So yeah, it's the skull design. It's really nice. And then the other side is just the basic cover from the slip. I am a huge fan of folk horror movies. Quite often enjoy them. And also really a huge fan of this art design for this movie. Like, this looks great. This looks incredible. So yeah, I'll definitely watch. I'll try my best and watch as many of my horror movie backlog as possible during October this year. So this is in there at the top of the pile. And then I got a couple more. I bought The Iguana with the Tongue of Fire by Ricardo Freda. Not a very highly regarded giallo, but I'll watch it anyway. Just out of curiosity. Does have a booklet as well. Yeah, so it's a giallo, so there's boobs and death. Everything you need in life. Right, and then I bought a couple of these. What should these be called? Action movies, I guess. Like modern action movies. Like there's Jake Speed. It does have John Hurt in it, which is quite interesting. But yeah, this is from like early 2000s, I think. 2002 says on the back cover. Yeah, so it's like a throwback. It's like a throwback 80s movies. Modern movies that try to imitate the 80s action movie style. It also should have a booklet, by the way. Yes, it does. What does the booklet look like? I guess that's Jake Speed. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Probably not the greatest movie ever made, but I don't know. Maybe I could get some enjoyment out of it. And then another of these throwback movies is Mega Time Squad. This is like from the late 2010s, I think. It says 2017 on the cover. So yeah, this is again one of those movies. Is it any good? I don't know. I haven't watched it, but could be fun, could be awful. Time will tell. Right, and to finish off, because that's not enough, I have 3 releases by Artificial Eye. So I think was it the first or the second movies I watched, I had 400 blows in it. And then I realized, oh yeah, I haven't included the box set in any of the collection updates. So yeah, I bought a used copy a while back of this our old Artificial box set, The Adventures of Antoine Doinel. So five movies by Truffaut in it, and it does have 400 blows in it that I already watched from this set. And then it has also Bed and Board and Antoine Colette. And so some of these discs have multiple movies on them, or some of the cases. Is it on the same disc? Yes, it is on the same disc as well. And then there is Stolen Kisses. Don't know much about these movies, but I've heard good things about Stolen Kisses. And then there is Love on the Run as well. So yeah, these movies are kind of all over the place in terms of when they were released, because they follow this same character. So one of the movies is from the 50s, and then you have the 60s. You even have a 70s movie in here, a late 70s movie even. So yeah, a bunch of Truffaut. And then I bought a copy of Dancer in the Dark, which is the most important Lars von Trier movie, not in the huge, like the big box set, which I do have here on my immediate right. So like this one that I went through in the Artificial Eye collection video. That one doesn't have Dancer in the Dark in it, so it got a separate release. Had to get this. I've seen Dancer in the Dark years ago, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm a huge fan of Björk, but I'm not who is the main actor here. But I'm not a huge fan of the movie itself necessarily. It's like an exploitation movie almost, where Lars von Trier is just torturing Björk for an hour and 50 minutes or so. Oh, it's over 2 hours long. But yeah, this has a great soundtrack by Björk. Surprise, surprise. So the soundtrack is fantastic. I would much rather listen to the soundtrack than watch the movie again. But yeah, still I want this in the collection because of reasons, because of Björk mainly. Also, this came in the mail like with damage, and I did get a refund. So I bought this from Amazon UK. And yeah, it came in with some damage. Like many of the corners are a bit crushed, and there's a rip there and everything. So I did get a refund for it, so I didn't pay anything for it in the end, which is cool, I guess. But I would rather get the item in the mail without any damage than get it for free and have the damaged item on my shelf. But it is what it is. I also found a used copy of this, which is Ashes of Time, the Redux, the remade version of it. So this is the Wong Kar-wai movie now, then talking about the Criterion Wong Kar-wai box set that is not in the box set. Why? Not sure, probably rights issues, but also could be the fact that Wong Kar-wai hates this movie, like he doesn't like this movie personally. He directed it, so I guess it's fine for him to hate it. But yeah, I don't know why he hates it. Just I know multiple people who kind of like it. But yeah, it's the one classic Wong Kar-wai movie that I haven't seen. And that's that. That's everything for this video. Just a huge stack of stuff again. What should I do with the thumbnail? I guess I'll take Ready or Not from the bottom because it's a topical game. I'll use Ready or Not for the thumbnail. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again next week for something different. I'll spend a little bit of time maneuvering these around, I guess. It's not easy, this life, having to assemble these items. Doesn't work. I'll do it like this. Let's do it like this. Fuck it. That's good enough. Like that. Like this. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. And I'll use this here. Boom. That's it. So yeah. Thanks for watching and bye.